So here's a rundown on some of our national and international headlines for this Thursday morning. Do you recall the black man that was killed in New Orleans back in 2016? They actually had a federal investigation into whether or not his civil rights were violated when the police shot and killed him for selling CDs. Well, they've decided that no charges will be filed against those police officers. It's still possible that the state of Louisiana will file some kind of charges. However, it's also very likely that this is going to lead to another round of protests. In another instance where a police officer killed an unarmed 15-year-old black man, this happened in Texas. The officer who killed the 15-year-old has been fired. I don't believe he's been accused of any crime. Activity at the North Korean nuclear site has resumed. The monitors are saying it could be that it shows that the planned test has been scrubbed. It could show that they are just in a state of preparation, or it could show that a test is imminent. I think we've covered absolutely every possibility. So basically, you have no idea what you're looking at when you're seeing these pictures, except that there's activity going on at a nuclear site. Let's get everybody all riled up. Theresa May is accusing the European Union of trying to influence the British elections, saying that they want to affect the general election outcome and try to ensure that the UK does not prosper. I'm not sure why everyone is so concerned about foreign governments trying to influence the outcome of the election when everybody in your country is trying to influence the outcome of the election. Ukrainian smugglers were detained on the Russian border after they basically fled and were chased and got shot. In the latest Astana peace meetings going on, that's in Kazakhstan, talking about the Syrian situation, the Syrian opposition basically just walked out yesterday because the bombing is still continuing against their positions. They're like, how can we have a peace talk when you are still bombing us? A bomb went off by a NATO convoy in Kabul, that's the capital of Afghanistan. A number of dead and dozens wounded, including some American soldiers. The FBI head said he is mildly nauseous over considering the possible sway he might have had on the election. If you recall, he announced that there was going to be a new inquiry into a new batch of Clinton emails. This came out just days before the election, and some people are like, oh, you influenced the election. He says he feels sick about it, but he felt that it would have been even worse had he not announced it, because obviously it would have been leaked to the press anyway. Also, some casualties reported in Iran, another coal mine explosion, and they have absolutely no idea how many miners may be stuck down there. There's some errors or inconsistencies in the accounting of who's where at the mine. Over 500 people employed at the mine. They've only got a couple of dozen accounted for from what I see at this point. A Russian frigate was testing missiles when a Polish, actually it was a NATO ship, but a Polish NATO ship, came within just 14 kilometers, or basically into the danger zone while they were testing the missiles. And in India, they've summoned the Pakistan envoy over the latest killing of soldiers. This happened on Monday when 2 Indian soldiers were allegedly killed and mutilated right there in that zone, that they have the zone separating the two countries along the Kashmir disputed territory. India says Pakistan did it. Pakistan's like, yeah, no, we didn't. Well, of course, now they've summoned the envoy and tensions are going up. They have been in a state of conflict over that region almost since the very beginning. 70,000 people have died over Kashmir over the years. Also, Japan is looking at revising its pacifist charter. A lot of this has to do with the latest tensions with North Korea and not knowing what the intentions are. And so they're going to revise their charter instead of just simply saying that they have no right to a military. Now they're going to be taking that right to self-defense as kind of an interpretation for the use of the SDF and expand it. Also, Julian Assange, back in the headlines. He's asking the lawyers there to drop the arrest warrant out of Sweden. If you recall, he was accused of rape in Sweden, and many people saw that as a simple pretext to get him extradited so that once he got to Sweden, he could be shipped off to the United States, where he could be tried for any number of espionage crimes. How would you feel if some foreign government puts you on a hit list for something that you didn't do, or maybe something that in your mind isn't a crime, whichever way. That'll be my subject of commentary today. Make sure you send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.